Namaste, good morning. I want to welcome you to this third asana class at the Recovery Cafe. And I want to express my gratitude to the cafe for making this possible and to the members of the staff who take their time to go ahead and make this recording and put this together and make it available to you who want to watch it. For those of you who would like to donate to the cafe, please go to the Recovery Cafe website and make a donation in that way. It'd be a good thing to do. I also want to express my gratitude to the lineages that provide the practices that have come forward over the many years to make this moment possible at this place in this time. It's important to honor that which is provided, the teachings that make this possible. The subject of this class today will be back bends. The first class that we began was seated for bends on a chair. The second class was laterals, opening the hips and side bending the spine. In this class, we'll be focusing on back bending. We'll be using an adaptation of Warrior One for that purpose. But we always begin in the same way, becoming aware of your body, noticing how you feel as you sit on your chair. A couple of things about the chair to be mindful of. If the chair is too high and your lower legs are hanging down, you want to put something underneath your feet that they can be resting on the support. So there's not that release of the lower legs from the knees. If the chair is too low and your knees are up off of, then you want to pick up your hips by putting something underneath them to make that same alignment. Approximately right angles, lower leg, thigh, torso. Knees right over the ankles, head and chest right over the hips, and the skeleton supporting the weight of the torso. Being aware of our body and the alignment of our body. Secondly, want to be aware of your breath. The way the breath is moving in to your body and the way the breath is going out. The breath is a good way to kind of keep track of just how comfortable am I in this practice. If I'm getting tired, go ahead and just lean back and relax. But if I'm comfortable, beginning to make some adjustments so I'm more present to how it feels to be me here now in this place, sitting on this chair. If you're kind of collapsing your low back and your chin is coming down, you want to rock forward onto the front of your sitting bones or thighs, pick up the chest, and rebalance your body. And then the third thing is that very thing, just speaking about awareness of this moment. Body, breath moving into body, and awareness of your body and the breath moving in. And pausing for a moment to ask yourself a very important question: who's here now? Not about somebody else in the room or in your space with you, but who's here now? We often think that we are just the same person all the time, but we go through so many different states of awareness. It's important to, okay, this person now is not the one that woke up this morning as I came out of my sleep. I feel so different now than I did then. To be aware of the variety of experiences that we have within our body all the time and take for granted as if I am a single unitary awareness. Often we are really scattered. It's good to know that. Let's begin to do some movements. As you rock forward, begin to feel the chest coming down toward the thighs. As you inhale, kind of float back onto your hips, maybe go past back to sitting bones toward the back of the chair. Rocking forward now, exhaling. As you do this, feeling more and more the weight of the body coming on to your thighs and perhaps your feet. Rocking back as you breathe. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, rocking back onto your hips. Feeling the way the weight changes as you come forward. And deepening the stretch that this affects. Now you're trying not to round the back as you come forward, but keep the heart open, reaching across the room, and letting your torso come down towards your thighs, and the back of the hips begin to open, and the back stretch. Just one or two more, folding forward. Keep the back flat, keep the heart open. Now try to keep the shoulder blades together and down as you do these last couple of movements forward. Begin to notice the source of resistance to this forward bend, where it might be. For me to go further, I've got to move my legs further apart. So I can now let my pelvis slide down between my thighs. Not only now is my back stretching, but my pelvis is opening laterally across the back. One more time. Lifting. Sit back, relax. Check out just exactly how you feel here. What form did you come into as you settle back? Being present to it. The arms come down the side of the body. Come forward on the seat on your sitting bones. Allow the right arm to sweep up. Inhale it. Exhale and let it come down. And just feel that movement, arm coming up, and noticing what happens to your alignment. You're trying not to lean back, but you want to get that chest to open as your arm comes up and reaching, making the side body long, exhaling, coming down. Same thing on both sides. Feel out the torso opens, the arm reaches, lengthening, going back behind the head if it can to get that opening across the front of the chest and the back of the body, contracting. Maybe both arms inhaling. Big movement. Exhaling, but keeping the torso upright as the arms come down. Inhaling. Now you may want to begin to lean back on your chair and let the hands go behind the head. Begin to gaze up and kind of open more the front of the chest. You may feel that the lumbar spine opens a little more in the front. As you exhale, you come back down, sitting back up again. Inhaling, leaning back. Opening, maybe gazing up at the space between the hands, or gazing at the brow, and exhaling, come back. One more time. A little bit of a back bend here. Keep the feet grounded. Keep the weight of the body on the torso. Keep the weight of the thighs on the chair, and the torso on the back of the chair. Sitting back, letting your hands come down, resting on your thighs, and sitting up. Just kind of move the shoulders now to feel the freedom in them, moving in both directions. Maybe allowing the arms to begin to float and explore space. Letting the hands lead the way, feeling the way the arms, the hands can move, not moving symmetrically, but allowing each one to take its own course, fingers active, opening, really getting that movement of the arms, floating them through space. Feeling the sensation of the skin touching the atmosphere as you move. But now bring your hands back together at your heart and be still. Noticing the variation a change in awareness. Awareness of the breath coming back. Okay, release that. Scoot over to your right, so you can take your right leg back. And now I want you to come to the top of your foot. You're going to take it back. At the top of the foot, come down. You get to lean back and lengthen the front of that thigh. Leaning forward to take the foot back, grounding the top of the foot, leaning back, knee coming down toward the floor. Now try not to let the foot come out to the side where you want it to go straight back, so you have a nice straight line out of the hip. And you want to have that toe pointing. You don't want to have the foot collapsing. You want that toe to go straight back. If I can really feel a nice even stretch, and I begin to reach that right arm back behind me and look up. Great stretch on the right side, open. So begin to make this movement exhaling, inhaling, reaching back. Make it slow, make it deliberate. Couple more, maybe a total of 4. Now holding this last one for a few moments as you inhale and deepen the breath coming in, reach the arm, push the knee down, make the body more and more long, inhaling. Keep that length as you pull the belly in, contracting. You can feel with each inhalation the body gets longer across the front of the body on the right side. Fingers active, really reaching out there in space, pointing the toes back, pushing the knee down. The middle hips come forward, opening the front of the thigh. And then releasing slowly, kind of feel everything coming back together again as you center yourself back on your chair. And notice the difference between your awareness of the right side of your body and your left. Really see the benefits of these practices as the joints open and awareness of the body is so much more pleasant after you make that movement. Shifting over now to your left to take the left foot back, to coming onto the top of that left foot. Now I always get a cramp here either in my calf or my thigh when I do this, so I've got to kind of get rid of it by pushing it away from me, flexing the foot, getting rid of that tightness in my calf or my hamstring. Then leaning back and pushing the knee down, coming forward to push the foot further back, make sure the toe points straight back, that ankle begins to open. Try not to collapse over on the foot. You want that ankle to be symmetrically reaching and opening as the front of the ankle opens. You may feel a difference between the right side and the left side of your body. Why should you expect it to be the same? And when you're ready, allow that left arm to reach back. Coming forward, I'm sitting down, exhaling, inhaling, as I lay back into space. Using the back of the chair for support. Using the floor on the front of the foot to open that ankle. Opening the outer side of that left thigh. And feeling now the brightness of the awareness of that breath moving in. And then staying for 4 or 5 breaths with the arm extended, knee pushing down. Hip coming forward, reaching, breathing, gazing, if you want, behind the head. Inhaling, reaching the arm, making the side body really long. Exhaling, pulling the belly in to maintain that length for your strength. Inhaling, making the body long. A couple more good breaths. And then slowly allowing the body to come back to symmetrical form, sitting on your chair, but now very alert. Balancing head, shoulders over hips, feeling the feet on the floor, knees and hips at the same width apart. Noticing the power of your breath now. I'm going to do a counter pose here. Let the feet come apart. Walk forward and the hands come down to the floor. Hips are going to come off of the chair. Sit back down on your chair and sit back up again. forward, rocking. Now stay with this movement if you want, but if you would like to go more slowly, sweep the arms up, inhale it, leaning back, walking forward, hands came back down to the seat, sitting back in the chair. Walking forward. Sitting up. Rocking forward, catching, keeping the knees bent. See, just coming off the floor, inhaling. Now as we come down, we're going to add something to that. You're going to drop down, just barely touching the seat with the thighs, but not sitting, sweeping your arms, standing back up again. Four, five, 6 times. Really begin to lean back and make the thighs work. Or as many times as you want for making yourself more fit, more challenging, a little bit more aerobic in the movement. Sitting down but not touching, not resting on the seat of the chair. When you want to stop, come down and pause with the fingers on the floor before you sit down. Flatten the back, lift the chest, firm the body, then with control, sit down, come up, and come back to your original seated form. Allow the breath to return to your awareness. I want the breathing to settle down into a nice, calm way of feeling the breath moving in the body. Let the belly expand, the belly contract. And relax, lean back against the chair. Kind of notice the form that you have come into. We're going to come into Shavasana, and I would like you to take your chair and move it so that the seat is going to be toward you. You're going to be lying down and placing your feet on the seat of the chair. You can watch me as I do this. I'm going to have the front legs of the chair on the mat. So I can lie down and place my feet on the seat of the chair. So I can just push the feet down, pick up the hips, and lie back down again. Just a little bit of a bridge form. Feet on the seat of the chair rather than back coming down. And then placing the calves on the seat of the chair. Now, I want to bring my chair closer to me. So that my calves rest on the seat. So I can press my calves down and pick up my hips. There's no strengthening for the back of the body. Calves on the seat of the chair, picking my hips up. Making the quads work a little bit. Then pushing the chair away from you. Extending your legs, lying down, and preparing for Shavasana. Now, you may want to think about doing something with a blanket to make yourself more comfortable. Maybe having something underneath the back of your head, on your hips, to let the extension of the body be more relaxed. Now bring your knees up, wrap your arms around your knees and rock from side to side a little bit to take any tightness out of the back of the body. Then let the feet come down, knees bent, feet on the floor by the hips. Now pick up the hips and roll up the back of your shoulders, tuck your chin around the back, come down and extend the legs. The shoulders come together and the arms open, arms up, and the legs release. A nice way to come into Shavasana. the breath return. Three or 4 minutes in this form. I use the word form to describe these moments of stillness when the body is not moving. It allows me to be aware of this shape, be sensitive to it. And then when I'm ready, coming out to sea, you may want to take your blanket and place it back under your hips again. So you can, in these final moments, come back to a comfortable seated form. Let the breath return. Inhale to find your breath and bring your hands towards your heart. Pause for a moment. Kind of stay with your breathing as you make it a bit stronger. Good deep inhalations. Good deep contractions. You pull the belly and push the breath out. Tuck the chin to lengthen the back of the neck. And sit up again. Nice firmness. Palms touching or almost touching. I'm going to be doing 3 arms. And join me if you'd like to do that. Inhaling to find your breath. Thank you very much. Hope you had a good class.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a very nice.
Well, that stayed on, but.
That was very nice. Instead of looking at the